Hey guys, I'm Mike McCarthy, the owner of Wingman Magazine, and we are here at our Wishes for Warriors charity event. We have some of our Wishes for Warriors soldiers with us. Excellent guys. We also have Irene Singleton. We got Todd Lowe. I'm going to pass this off to our interviewer and our moderator, Kayla Thornton. Please come and join me up here. And she's going to take over. If she has any questions for me, I'll be obviously glad to help out. But Kayla, take it from here.
So we are here for Wishes for Warriors, which this is a charity group that's basically, it's veterans helping other veterans. I would like the veterans that are here today to stand up and introduce themselves. So you guys want to take it from here? Stand up, introduce yourself.
Am I going first?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm Dominic Davila, Marine Corps for like 5.5 years. Got injured in Afghanistan in 2009, and part of Wishes for Warriors for the last like 4 years now.
Luke Martin, Wishes for Warriors. I was in the Army for 4 years, and I've been with Wishes since 2013. Forgot where I was going.
I'm Shelby Hatch. I've been with Wishes for 2 years, and I was Air Force, and I got hurt in Afghanistan.
First female vet that we've had, too, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So she is the first female with Wishes for Warriors, guys. So keep that in hand. You gotta introduce yourself.
I'm Mike Krampitz. I was 101st Airborne Division, 3.5 years in the Army. I was been with Wishes for Warriors since 2013. I got injured in Afghanistan as well.
And does one of you want to explain what Wishes for Warriors does?
Sure. Wishes for Warriors is a nonprofit organization for combat wounded veterans, anything from psychiatric disabilities to physical disabilities, and our big main point for us to help vets is getting them back outdoors, doing hunting trips, skydiving, surfing. We've been all over North America, Mexico, Argentina, Canada. We've done hunts with, and it's just bringing the military community back together and also helping the civilian side of it understand what it's like to be a vet and the disabilities, kind of like the path of disabilities from when we get home from war and what it's like to be a civilian again after our traumas.
And where can anyone make donations for this charity?
You can go right on our website at wishesforwarriors.org or .com.
Wishes for Warriors Corp.
Yeah. And then we can also, or you can also go on our Facebook, our Instagram, and we also have all of our email addresses that are on either our Instagram pages, Facebook pages, and on the main site as well.
So everybody, go and donate Wishes for Warriors. All right, wishesforwarriors.corp.
Wishes for Warriors
You can
Corp.
find them on
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, you name it, there's social media outlet, you can find them there and you can donate today. It's important that we respect our veterans and the things that they do for this great country. We also have Irene Singleton, who's known for his roles in The Blind Side and The Walking Dead. And we have Todd Lowe, who is on Shooter, and most famous for True Blood, I would say, where he played a military veteran that suffered from PTSD.
Do I get to introduce myself?
You can introduce yourself, Todd.
I'm Todd Lowe. I am not a veteran. I played one on television, and that's why I got invited to Salem,
Yes.
Massachusetts. And they told me Shelby was going to be here, and that's the reason I came. Right now.
We all have the same emails.
So
Don't worry, it's going to be a female in this event. You're way already done.
So my first question is for Irene.
Yes, ma'am.
So Irene, why was it so important for you to come down to Salem, Massachusetts and support this cause today?
Well, simply put, the vets allow me to do what I do, and I told you that earlier. You know, if it were not for you and the sacrifices that you've made, I wouldn't be in this position to be an actor, to do what I love to do, to do what I dreamed about at a very, very young age. And I liken the military to my experiences growing up. We talked about this earlier. I grew up in the inner city of Atlanta, and I had a very traumatic life at losing my mother at age 18 from HIV complications. And she was addicted to alcohol and crack, and specifically you and we kind of touched on living life in the inner city. I didn't have my father there with me. I saw him 2 times in my life. My brother's been in and out of the judicial system ever since the age of 14. I ran the streets, I sold drugs, I carried a pistol, I fought, and I dealt with abuse at the hands of my mother and so on and so forth. So it was quite traumatizing. But when I think about what you do, and now the thing about that, the really big difference is it was involuntary for me. So you guys volunteer. My hat's off to you. That is something that is just, I respect to the fullest. And whenever I meet, and I'll go on, I'm not going to talk too much, Kayla, I'm not going to go on forever, but when I meet our vets out on the road at conventions or what have you, I'm just moved. There's this energy I get from them because y'all have something special. There's just a special thing about you, and you're so kind and courteous, and you're willing to put it all out on the line. Now, my character T-Dog died. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! my character, I already did, but I didn't tell it to you. But yeah, my character died on the show, and he sacrificed himself, and I channeled what it would kind of be like for a soldier. And God bless you all for everything you've done. And I'm like, man, there must be something, because I always thought about soldiers and Saving Private Ryan and all these movies when they sacrifice themselves, and I'm like, how cool in a movie it would be to die as a hero. And that's how he died, and I'm like, man, that's like a soldier to me. That's like a vet, and that's what you are. You all are my hero. So I had to jumped at the opportunity to come here to thank you all. When my manager said, there's an event here going on for the vets, I said, yeah, I want to do that. She said, well, it's for charity. It's no parent. I said, I know, I want to do it. So that is why I'm here today, though. But I'm sorry to be so long.
Hey, Todd, besides looking on Wikipedia to study up for your role of playing Terry, who suffered from PTSD on True Blood, what did you do to prepare yourself?
Well, first I thought Irony was doing okay with his. To prepare myself for my role as a PTSD veteran on a television show.
It was a
And what did I do?
supernatural
What
television
did
show.
I do as an actor who chose to go to college instead of enlisting, instead of not even having the options to go to college, which some people do, and I'm going a little deep into this, and I could be, but my character on True Blood, in the books that it was based on, Charlene Harris wrote these Southern vampire novels.
Yeah.
The character was written as a Vietnam veteran. And in my understanding, and I played the character like that, as a person who did not decide to enlist, as a person who was drafted into it because his social security number came up. And I wonder, and I'm getting a little long-winded about this, but if we're talking about veterans, and I would like to even open up a dialogue, how many people tomorrow, in November, whatever it is, 2017, who are, or let's call it May 2018, who are graduating from high school, the percentage of those kids that the military is an option. And I've thought, and I could be wrong, and I could be wrong as a person of privilege, but when you decide to join the military, I still think there is sometimes, it is an option for some kids who don't have others. And I've met, I don't see him. The guy who did the Green Berets.
Yep.
Oh, Sean.
Sean.
Dan.
Sean. Is Sean not here? Because I wanted to deflect this whole conversation to him. But he is not here right now. But let me shorten this by saying my character and what I based it on, and the way I played my character in True Blood, who was a veteran with PTSD, I played him based on what the original author had written him as a Vietnam veteran. And from what I remember as the dudes on the street with the cardboard sign, homeless vet will work, I put that kind of thought into the guy. And I don't know if I see that many young people or people who would be 35 to 40 now. I don't see that, but I remember growing up seeing the Vietnam vets, and I'm going off on tangents here, and somebody, if you can steer this to a better way, what I'm trying to say.
No, you're fine. You're doing
You drop.
Okay, but I based my character on the initial pathos and sympathy I had for that initial homeless vet dude, and that's how it was written in the source material that our TV show was based on. And I think that's why I even got invited to this event, because the writers also wrote it that way. And I am not, like I said, I am not a veteran. I've had sympathy, but by some reason I'm invited to this event. I'm happy to be here for the first time in Salem, Massachusetts, because I've never been here before.
Welcome.
And thank you for telling me where the best steamed clams are, or crab cakes.
Steamers!
Steamers! And I want to get out of this deep conversation that I started. But my question is, who will be the next generation? Who's going to graduate in 2018, and who is going to decide to join the military? And it's an important job, but it's interesting on why that idea even presents itself to him. A lot of people want to go to college, and the military is a second option. And I'm just curious of why the military is a second option these days, and how could it be the first? What could the military do to make it more attractive for smart, physically able men and women to join? So yeah, let me get out of this question.
To any of the veterans, did any of you choose to serve your time to pay for college? You did? Okay. That's perfectly fine. A lot of people do. We had 2 previous staff members that did, that worked here. So.
And I would say that because you wanted to get an education, but at the same time you understood the risks that were attached to being a soldier. You're like, hopefully I won't have to go to war.
Well, there was actually, there was a few reasons that I chose to do it. Money for college was kind of the bonus to it. I knew that, I felt at the time as though, one, I wasn't going to have a free ride to college. Like, my parents didn't have the money to pay for me to go to college. So, and I didn't want to pay for it. So, and then I also realized that I was a fucking loser. Like, I just wasn't doing anything with my life. So I was like, I need discipline. Like, I can't hold a stable job. And so I made that choice to change my life. And it brought so many blessings and curses at the same time, But, my life is where it is because of that one decision. And it was the best decision I made for myself.
I would just like to suggest to the moderator, weren't we going to move into, like, what's your favorite military movie?
That's exactly what I was about to say. You read my mind. So as Todd is taking my job here, Irony, let's start with you. What is your favorite military movie? Or is there a military movie that inspired you, that made you, helped you with your portrayal of T-Dog, with that sacrifice that he made for Carol? Spoiler alert, guys.
The big one now that stands out is Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh.
But before that came out, it was right. So it was Saving Private Ryan. Well, when I was a little toddler or something like that. But I just watched that just recently, and I cried. I know y'all military, so you're laughing at me on the inside.
I cried.
But Yeah, I watched it on a plane ride from Atlanta to LA, and it was just so touching that somebody wouldn't even pick up a gun when all these bullets are flying at him, and because of his religion or his spiritual foundation, he just wanted to help, to serve. And that encompasses like the essence of a soldier to me. That is what it's all about. And like for you to say that you were a loser at that time, of course I'm going to disagree, because you were 18.
Yeah.
You were 18 years old, so you were still finding your way. It's a statistic. Well, I think psychologists say our brains don't stop developing until we hit 25 years of age. So that's understandable. You're 18, you're trying to find yourself, find my way. I think the thing that helped me to find my way was when I was 18 years old, my mother died. And she died of HIV complications, and I found myself in the room, and I'm on my knees crying because I'm like, okay, I've lived 18 years of deprivation, despair, and just a lot of pain. So why am I even here on planet Earth? Because I'm having those thoughts myself. But then I said, please, if it's meant for me to be here, God, show me a sign. And I literally said in my mind, having this conversation with God, I said, show me the light. And at that moment, a car came around the corner on the street where I live, and his headlights just shone through my window and reflected off my wall and lit up my entire room. And it illuminated my entire room, and it was my moment of epiphany. And it was an experience that I'll probably never have again. But that was God telling me that I was not a loser. That was God telling me that I was here for a reason. That was God telling me that I was an individual, like we all are for a reason. There are 7 billion plus of here on planet Earth, and we all have a specific purpose to serve. And God told me at that time, in order for your mother's life to mean something, she died at 36 years of age. In order for your mother's life to mean something, you got to do something with yours. And that's what I heard in my head. Said, I'm going to make sure that my mother's life is not in vain. And God said, your job is to love and respect everybody you come into contact with, no matter what, no matter how much maybe negativity or hate or whatever they give you, because love will always conquer hate. And that's the thing that makes me buckle down. See, I'm talking amongst military soldiers. I get emotional talking about this. I know y'all got to give me a pass. Give me a pass.
This is real. This is real. This is real. This is what people need to see, the reality of everything.
All right. Well,
It's reality. This is real life.
Yeah. And that was my reality at the time. And it was like, in order for your life to mean something, your mother's, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to affect the world positively through the compassion that you give that guy that you portrayed in True Blood, the one pushing that buggy. I have like an enormous amount of empathy for that individual. We have mental illnesses that are not being addressed the way they should be addressed. A lot of those illnesses come from experiences in the military, and they come back, and then we don't give our vets the love and the compassion that they deserve to move on with their lives, and then it ends up turning into other stuff, and these mental illnesses get out of control. Hence recent situations that I won't really specify too much. It's because that compassion is not there. If we love each other the way that we're supposed to, the reason why we're here, we have to get back to the basics. Then we wouldn't have those other issues. That's what it all stems from. Truth and love. And that day on my knees, and when God gave me that sign right there, said, hey, no, you're as good as the next man or woman. You just do what I tell you to do. It's about listening and obeying. And that's the path I've been on ever since God brought me through that. Because I was going down, brother. I was going down. But that's it.
Survival.
To do
From
this,
survival.
and just because I posed the question and I caught you on a breath. The answer to the question, my favorite military movie is Full Metal Jacket. We can move it around the room.
And
Get
any of
these
you
real
vets,
quick.
any of you vets like inspired by a military movie to join the military? Like, what made you want to join the military?
Band of Brothers for me. It was
Okay.
a HBO miniseries. I got lucky because that was my favorite show, and then I ended up getting into the 101st Airborne Division when I graduated basic training. So I got to go to my favorite unit from my childhood, but I wanted to go into the military since I was like 4 years old, since I could remember. I never wanted to go to college. I never wanted to do anything like that. My uncle was a Vietnam vet. He was the only one that survived out of his entire platoon. Everyone got ambushed. He was the only one that lived. He got shot 8 times in the back, and he never talked about any of it until the day before I left for basic training. He came to me and then he told me a couple stories to try to get me not to go, because in Vietnam, he volunteered for Vietnam, but back then it was a very different situation. A lot of people then didn't believe in the war. They didn't believe in any type of patriotism, because that was all kind of disbanded after World War II. Everything like the Cold War, Vietnam, all that stuff was things people didn't believe in. And so he went, and he knew that the traumas and tribulations that war can cause to a family, a person, and but I still wanted to go. And that it was more of the honor system that a lot of us still joined for. It was that I got graced already by being born in the most amazing country in this world. So I need to pay back for that, because I got to go to school. I got health care, and I was pleased for that. A lot of people don't. But at the same time, we have a lot of things that other countries don't have, like in Afghanistan and Iraq, where they don't have toilet paper, they don't have cell phones, they don't have health care.
They don't have electricity.
They don't have electricity. If you have a disability, they'll leave you on the side of the road and they'll
They'll
just
kill you.
breed another child.
Yeah.
So for me, when I saw that movie, and there's specific things inside that movie, but one of the best ones was at the end. The vet was talking to his grandson, and he said, Grandpa, you're a hero. And he said, I'm not a hero, but I served with a unit of them, because you don't fight for you, you fight for the man next to you. So that's why I joined, is because I knew somebody in this country, if I don't join, he won't have anybody watching his back. Because I know if I join, he'll have mine. And that's why we're the greatest country here.
And we thank you for all your courageousness and bravery for doing the things. Tell me, what about you? What inspired you to join the military? There's not many women that just join the military, so.
True. No, my granddaddy was in the military, and my dad was in the military, so that's as long as I can remember, that's all I've ever wanted to do. I mean, I dressed up when I was little in my dad's uniforms. My mom's got pictures of it, apparently. But yeah, ever since that's all I wanted to do.
So you
And
want to
that
be
was
a
it.
real life superhero, basically.
I don't know about superhero.
Oh, you're a real life superhero.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. No.
Super surgeon.
Yeah.
Super surgeon.
I worked in surgery, so I'm at the operating room, so that's what I did in the military. But yeah, that's all I've ever wanted to do. And it had nothing to, I don't know if it was because my dad was in and my grandpa was in, and I don't know.
It's in your blood.
It was
Blood.
it was in my blood.
She
It's in
has
my
rare
system.
blood, though, for anyone that doesn't. No, I'm serious. She has rare blood, because I lost my medic. My medic was killed
Yeah.
about 2 months into my deployment, and that was like for
What
you.
does it mean when you say, because I'm not a soldier, when you say you lost your medic?
Got
What is
killed.
that?
He got killed.
He got killed.
But who was your medic? The medic in your division?
So my
Yeah.
unit was the decisive operations unit. So which means that we didn't have a big base. We were on a very small base. We
Yeah.
only had about 36 men. That was including our mortar team, which was about another 8. So we were just one platoon of guys. And where we came out of, we had one medic.
And to a layman who you served in Afghanistan,
right.
and your job, you were an infantryman?
I was an infantryman. I was a designated.
And there's a team of about 12 to 15 of you guys?
You have each squad. Each squad has 2 teams, each with 4 men. 1 team leader, 1 saw gunner, a grenadier, and a rifleman.
And one guy who's in charge
Of all of
the
them.
doctor?
No,
There's
there's
a
one
medic.
medic, and
There's
that's
one
it. He's
medic.
in charge. He's in charge.
And
We
he's
call
your
him
same
Mom.
age.
He was.
He is not-
1 year older than
He
me.
was 1 year older, but he is not a doctor who has been a practice doctor
No.
and
No,
knows
no,
what was.
no.
Okay.
No.
He's
We were
learning on
trained.
the fly.
Medics
Medics are,
Medics
no,
are-
we laugh because it's.
I'm not
because
laughing. It's just like, but
No,
it's
we
like,
laugh.
We laugh.
We're
We
laughing
laugh.
because people think honestly that
It's all doctors.
that
but
there's
it's
like
not.
when you have a medic, like this guy looks like Dr. House from
And
House,
it's
and he's just
not.
like,
And it's
oh,
he
and then
can't
snaps
sell
his fingers and you're
everything.
not-
It's
you're
like
stopped
changing
breathing.
you
sides
know
and have
more
multiple-
than him. It's like back team is gonna
Yes.
be better than whatever the
No,
fuck
but
they're
this
doing.
is
Yeah,
why
no.
this is why being a medic, and that's why I say she has very rare blood, is because they don't know. They don't have decades of experience. They learn how to put tourniquets on, stop bleeding, keep your heart rate going till we can get you on a bird to hopefully get you to stay
And just
stable.
a bird to a layman means a helicopter.
Helicopter.
Okay,
So
okay.
when you like, but this is where a lot of people don't understand how combat is because if you get shot in the gut, you have about 8 to 10 minutes to stop the bleeding and stop the infection because all that stomach acid and everything that's in your large intestines, if that gets in your bloodstream, you're gonna go toxic and septic, and then you're gonna die.
So
You're
is the
screwed.
first order to get a helicopter in and fly this injured?
Yes.
It's your medevac. So anytime,
drop it out.
Whenever something
They
happens,
drop a knife.
so like there's a firefight and there's casualties or whatever, as an IED, everybody has a job.
Yeah.
So there's like you have your gunner or whoever it is. Say one person goes down, everybody has a certain job that they're supposed to do or try to do. It never works out that way.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a designated radio man. Then you have your medic. Then you have like your squad leader who's in charge of everybody, making sure everybody's doing what they're doing on top of everybody else who's there and securing the area and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of moving parts, and everybody knows their part, and everybody knows everyone else's part. So if one person falls from that,
Yeah,
falls from
whoever
that,
gets shot.
everyone kicks in, and it's
Who is the most decorated doctor to come out of military service? Is there a name that we all know?
Oh God! Usually we don't. Usually I'm not a doctor. I mean, I got called doc downrange because I was
Yeah,
a
medics
medic.
are like,
I combat medic. So
they're like
they called me doc. I don't have a doctor degree.
They're like
Isn't
combat.
that insane how this world works? That you are out there, you are a medic, you're performing surgeries on the field. When you get back home, are you allowed to work into a hospital? Do you get what,
Well,
you know, because I've heard
Yeah.
stories.
I can work in a hospital. I can work in the OR anywhere if I wanted. You know,
as a tech or something.
as a
right?
tech, I
Yeah.
can work as
As
that.
a tech only, though.
As a tech only. I did more downrange than I did ever stateside, just because I had more freedom to do it, and then there was no one else to do it.
You
So
figure.
There's no laws.
The
There's
big
no-
thing-
There's
You
no
figure
laws,
though
no-
that there would be better job placement for someone that went out there and performed surgeries like that under pressure.
It's
You
complicated.
figure,
It's very
right?
complicated,
It's
yeah.
complicated because there's no insurance in
Yeah.
war. You don't
Yeah,
have to worry
there's
about
not.
insurance claims. Like if something goes bad in surgery, you're not going to get their family coming in saying, "Why is my mom like?
Yeah,
did
what
she get her
happened here?
medications
Why-
on time?"
Oh, it's
and
because
stuff?
you use you use something that
Yeah.
something
There's
that
nothing
was
sterile.
expired. Yeah, there's nothing sterile downrange. As much as you try to, there's nothing sterile downrange. And then some of the equipment, like some of the stuff we have, some of the packages we had, it said it was expired, but you can't just call up UPS and go, "Hey, can
I
you
need
send
new
me
gauze."
some gauze?"
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't
You get
happen.
what you
that.
have and-
I've got what I've got, and I got to use what I've got. And if that's what I have, I'm doing it. You know, if it saves the guy's life, I'll do whatever I got to do.
And that is a major issue with society. Do you see that? They're sending expired product or not enough product for the people that are out there fighting for their lives to use. Doesn't that show that there's something wrong with society in that aspect? Would you say?
That's a big question. Can we cut to our favorite?
Yeah.
My favorite movie.
I'd actually like to
More
say
movie.
something on that. Because I really like to thank the people who are here, because it really means a lot, because I brought them here. And I would like to say that these people actually, they care a lot. And it clearly shows. There's a lot of actors that don't. And there's a lot of actors that are fake. And these actors are not. You know, I think that
Absolutely.
That's very
these are
There's
actors.
only two of the four of us here.
But These actors are very, very, very real, and they're very genuine, and they're very sincere. Irony, he goes, I want to sell my books, and I want 20% of the proceeds to go to the charity itself. This guy here, it's like he comes in and they're saying that they want something to drink, and he goes, I'll go to the store, I'll go get it myself. That to me speaks such volumes about a person and their character, and that's not, I'd say, 98% of Hollywood, and these people deserve a round of applause. Really, I feel like for the past month and a half, I have been begging for charity, and I don't even understand the half of it, the way that the homeless veterans on the street are doing it, and it's really breaking my heart because of the fact that I know, like, a tiny little fraction of what you guys are going through, and I just wish that we could have raised more for you. So, and these guys are so great to be here, and I'm really, really thankful that you guys came, and you guys have been so incredibly
Yeah.
wonderful.
Well, thanks. Well, I feel like he was talking about me. And my name is Todd Lowe, and I came here because, yes, I support veterans' causes, but mainly and more selfishly, I wanted to wrap this whole thing up so we could get out of here and rub elbows without cameras on us. By saying, what is the point we got out of this? What is our favorite war picture? And then we can cut it all into sound bites. And we can stream it all out.
I have a question for you.
Oh, God.
Okay.
So, when Andrew first came to me and told me about this event, which I was kind of lost, didn't quite understand what the heck was going on. When I finally understood, I grabbed him and I said, hey, I need you to take a look at this clothes so that I can kind of put together what I'm going to bring. And when I started showing him some stuff for you, some of the words that came out of his mouth was, she's in the military. And then I thought, I'm like, but so what if she's in the military? So she can be feminine, she can look good, she can wear this or that. So my question is, do you feel like being a woman in the military kind of forces you to be more masculine and give up part of your femininity? Or do you feel like it doesn't really influence it at all? Or like, what role does that play in a woman?
It did not influence me at all. I mean, I'm more of a tomboy anyway. I do dress up.
I think most women who join the military are
Yeah.
like in that role already.
Yeah,
My sister's in the military and she's definitely not a tomboy.
Really?
Yeah, some females are. They're girly. They're very girly, and that's fine. You don't have to be. It didn't change me at all as far as feeling like a female or anything
Like, do you
like
feel
that.
you have to have a certain persona to be able to be effective in the military as a woman?
No. Every unit I've worked with.
Professionalism.
Yeah, it's just professionalism. I got respect because of what I did, what my job was. I mean, I
Also
worked
being a
with
medic
men.
too is like completely different from a lot of aspects
Yeah,
of the military.
a medic, I
being
you
female
automatically.
supply officer or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
One,
medics are
any-
always respected.
One,
Yeah.
any medic
No matter
has
what.
more balls than anyone, and any female medic has more balls than any of those guys.
Yeah.
Because it takes, like I
Yeah.
said, it's a certain kind of blood to know that maybe even over 50% of the people that you're working on are not going to make it off your table.
Yeah.
And to
And
be
you're
able
getting
to
them
go
in the
through
worst
that.
situation ever. Like
And to
you're
go
getting
through
them
that
from-
trauma every single day, knowing that Dom's gonna lose his leg even though you're still
Yeah.
trying to keep it up, or taking shrapnel out of someone, or like our friend Eric who's a triple amp, he lost both of his
Taking out
legs and an
all-
arm. Knowing that you're working on him just to keep his heartbeat going, and not even knowing that if you're gonna see that person again,
Yeah.
to see what trauma he's gonna have to go through after he leaves that table and goes back to civilian life, that takes a certain type of person. So I don't want to take your thing because you're the woman. I'm
No,
not a
that's
woman.
okay.
But I think any female that can wear a uniform that shows no skin and can still be extremely attractive for what she does and for the charisma it takes for a woman to be that strong is far more outlooking than anybody that can wear a bikini.
Thank you. Let's do a fun question. Irony.
Yes, ma'am.
If T-Dog had a military background on The Walking Dead, what do you think would have happened?
Bum, bum, bum.
If he had
A military background.
he'd still be alive.
Yeah, he would have found a way to just
Oh,
get both of y'all
yeah.
out.
He would have found
yeah.
a way. He
Found
would
a
have found
way.
a way. Yeah, because I mean,
You should have had those boots on. You probably could
I
have kicked some
know,
more zombies in the face.
you know, they vets. You make a way out of no way. That's how you're trained. That's how you're built.
Improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Improvise,
It's like
adapt, and
what
overcome.
you're taught from day one.
Yeah,
Admit
There it
nothing,
is.
deny everything, make
Yeah.
counter accusations.
exactly.
Could any of you guys, in a way, kind of compare anything that you've seen on a TV show like The Walking Dead with war?
With the for me, with The Walking Dead, I do watch The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I do watch The Walking Dead.
Game of Thrones?
Not Game of Thrones. Not Game of Thrones. No, the reason I liked that, because I didn't start watching it until after I got back from Afghanistan. I could not watch anything, but I started watching that one. The only thing that I think that can relate, that I relate to military, is they have, the characters on that show have PTSD because of the environment that they're in and the trauma that they're going through every day. And that's what we do. That's how we were downrange. That's what we were, we were going through trauma every day, regardless of what it was. You're getting shot at, you're getting blown up, you're seeing this person
You're
over here.
getting mail from family members.
Yeah.
The world doesn't stop, so you're getting like.
Yeah, this is going on back
Yeah.
home. So what are we going to do about this? And I'm like, shit, I can't think of
Yeah.
What do you mean? I can't deal with this back home. And
Right.
so I see it as they have their own set of PTSD. So that's what I related it to, because I was like, oh shit, I can relate to that because they're doing the same thing that we do.
That's really good. Yeah, I never looked at that.
Yeah, they have
What's
PTSD.
the season in The Walking Dead where they finally found that little camp and they were trying to make it like everything was normal there, like they were cooking
Yeah,
and cleaning
and see,
stuff like
that's
that.
where-
And that's when everybody
that's when
started getting the post-traumatic stress because they
It was
knew
at the
outside of
prison.
that cage.
Not the prison. Not the prison.
No,
It was
no.
it was the village.
It was a
The-
village.
the-
That what's his name?
Terminus.
Not
Is it
Terminus. No, it's after that.
Yeah.
Oh, after Terminus.
After Terminus.
Oh, Alexander.
Alexandria.
Yeah.
When they got there, that's when I saw
Yeah.
it most because they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have this party," and everybody's like,
What do you mean?
"What do you mean party? What? You want me to dress up and come here and act normal? And we've been dealing with this, and you want me to be normal?
Yeah.
So, and that's where I was like, oh dang, I'm
That's
so,
how we feel
Going
when we
back
get
on
home.
base. and
That's
you're
how
like,
we
you get a
feel.
haircut, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
exactly.
Your camis have blood on them, and you've got to leave the chow hall.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
and
like,
I've done
"Excuse me?"
that before. I was like, you want me to what? You're worried about my uniform, and I go, yeah. I mean, it's just like that. That's how we feel when we get home.
Yeah.
It's just like that because it's like, you want me to? We're gonna sit down and have dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd get a meal today. What?
Are there
Why do you
other
get so anxious?
cool military jargon slang nicknames for chow hall?
Mess hall.
Mess
Yeah,
hall.
mess hall, chow hall.
I had this question because I've worked on a couple TV shows where I played a veteran, and I worked on a show called True Blood, and then I just recently worked on a show called Shooter on the USA Network.
Andrew's a fan.
Ryan Philippe, everybody. I had put a Facebook. Well, hopefully some of you guys can answer this question. I had put a Facebook question out because they had hired me and said, "We need you to be kind of the funny guy," and I'm not always funny, as you can all see. But they said we need. So I needed to come up with an improvisation for field toilet.
Shitter.
Latrine, shitter,
Shitter,
Head.
head.
Yeah, the head.
Yeah, the head.
shit
yeah.
kitchen.
Jack
That one ever go out?
Jack Shack.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Jack Shack is
Whack
okay,
Shack.
okay.
Whack
Whack
Shack.
Shack.
And guys, we're getting to the time to wrap up, so guys, basically
We
said,
got to the end of
just
that
everyone
question.
from Wishes for Warriors, can you please tell us why it's so important that we donate and support this foundation?
I know what I'm doing, dude. I'm not dummy.
I think it's important to donate to this foundation, basically because you get us veterans together, and we've never met each other. Like we were just saying, you know, a couple minutes before everything started. He's like, I've known you for like 3 years before we've even come here. And then
talked.
yeah, you know, and it's like, and the same thing here with them. It's like there's so many veterans. It's such a small community, and then it's even smaller when you meet veterans that are combat wounded, and you're able to relate to. Like we've all talked, and we've never had a moment where like, well, what did you do? What did you do? It's nice just being around like-minded people to where you almost feel normal again.
It's our newest family.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like no matter what branch, like we give each other, you know, crap all the time about, you know, Marines are better than the Army, Air Force is the worst. And
But at the end of the day, you all come together and support each other, which is the most important.
100%.
Plus also, it's not about, you know, the four of us in this room.
Yeah.
It's about
the dudes
getting
who don't,
the message out
who
to
don't,
The guys that are still in their
know that
basements, that
there's
are
hope.
still not getting jobs, that are still hitting the bottle, that are still doing drugs, that still can't understand like how to love their children, that don't know how to react to society, the ones that we haven't been able to get to yet. So the more time that we get to do things like this, the more time we get to get more donations, we can get those guys out, because we don't take 1 cent from donations. They all go to our vets. We all do this for free.
Yeah.
So it's a great organization. Everybody, I've met there's guys that I keep in contact with that I've never served with. We've been in, you know, same theater of war, but different times. And it's just good meeting other people that you're able to connect with. You know, we can go to a bar, we can go to places, and we can talk to people, but there's never really that true connection where we're able to be like, well, I've been in Iraq, I've been in Afghanistan, and this, and nothing has to be spoken about. It's just common knowledge and common ground that everybody like respects, and it's just nice being around other people that've been through it. I mean, you know,
It's not a contest.
Yeah. You know,
it's like we're here for each other. We're here for.
There's no
you know,
bullshit for
every
our
other
lives.
veteran
It's
that
just
needs help.
we're here for the same reason they're here for, and we don't have to lie about it. And we know they're not going to do the same to us, which is really cool, because in society,
you get a lot of guys that have been places.
You get a lot of people, and a lot of guys are like, oh, like when I went to college for a very short period of time, there was the people like, oh, you were in the military. Okay, so what did you do then? They always think it's like Jason Bourne or something, where you just like run around, and it's not that way at all. It's a lot of downtime. It's a lot of time to think about like when you're in a guard tower and you're just staring off into the desert trying to stay awake, and you think about a lot of like what just happened the day before, either if it's taking a life, seeing one of your own friends' lives be taken, and then you go back home, and then this guy who's 17 years old, who probably just did a beer bong the night before, is asking you about your trauma, and not asking out of respect, like meaning how is this emotional towards you? It's just like, oh, dude, tell me a cool story so I can tell everyone else about it and make a lie of it.
I've had guys, you know, come up to me and like, oh, you're in the military? I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, what'd you do? I was like, you know, I went to Afghanistan, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so you're like a badass. You did a lot of stuff. I was like, yeah, man, it was cool. You know, 2 guys in my truck that I was killed, and, you know, my roommate was killed, and there's like 12 other people who were killed. So it was really cool. And they're just like, don't grasp the concept that you don't get to respawn in war. It's
not a video game.
Not reality, and that's
you don't get 3
that's what
lives.
I was talking about. That's what
you
I was
don't get
talking
a bullet to the shoulder and they wait behind a truck and re-heal.
Exactly.
And be ready
you lose
9
that
seconds
shoulder.
later.
We want to thank everybody for coming out today. We want to thank you guys from Wishes for Warriors for basically, you know, bringing knowledge about this charity that you have and how important it is to donate. We want to thank Irony Singleton for coming out. He has a book out, Blindsided by the Walking Dead. Pick it up. And he has a one-man show. So everybody check that out, because it's amazing. And then Todd's working on some things. He gets some things brewing.
He might tell some jokes, and they might fail, or they might succeed. So stay with Todd. We're all
And thank you everybody for your time. And most importantly, donate to Wishes for Warriors today.
Good. We've had a couple. Get up against that just a minute.
Hey, give us fear. I want to see fierce. Something fierce. Create fierce.
Come on, Ann.
Let's go join them.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, I love that color.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah, where's he going?
Come on, guys. On. Come on, come on, come on. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Good, good. Yeah. Hold it. Perfect.
Please, only one at a time.
Okay. Let me get in by your
Stop
side.
screaming.
Wait, picture with them. Can I get a picture with you guys?
Screaming.
All three of you.
Oh, you want to by yourself? Can you move over this way?
You're not going
That might
anywhere.
cover you might trip.
Come on, hey. I'm gonna touch you. Move over this way.
Oh,
You had
jeez.
him. You had him.
Well, that was on purpose.
There we go. Oh, shit. We're gonna put it
That was his surprise.
Nice. Good. Hold it. Wait.
Where is Mike and
Daniel.
Andrew?
Right here. Good. One more. Great. Perfect.
And designer Daniel.
Okay.
And style.
Right.
With the Weekend Warriors logo.
Hey, Davey.
Sure.
Hey. How'd it go next door? What'd you guys? Good.
Okay, great. I'm Niels All with the local sales and that newspaper. I was just wondering why you came here.
I'm here to support the vets.
Have you done things like this before, or for veterans, or other groups?
Of course, but now that I'm doing the parade, it makes more sense.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
There you go. Perfect. Come on.
Perfect. Thank you.